Okay, this shir is in the memory of Rachalei Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. Okay, questions. Number one, please can you spend some class time talking about important hashkafic lessons of Sfiras HaOmer and Shavuot that we can give over to our children. Please give us some ideas about relevant stories, Mishalim, etc. Okay, so the main lesson of Sfira is that in order to become who you want to be, you have to work. That's the main lesson you want to get across to children. That Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim because of the promises He made to the Avos, and because they live within us, and because the time was ripe, and because of our suffering. But we had to make a response for this to become really us. So our response was emunah. We did have a response to Hashem. We did the Pesach offering. We followed Him into the desert. This is emunah. But in order for a person to really grow, they also have to take away all of the impediments to being their highest self and having a kesher to Hashem, which is what Torah leads us towards. So the days of Omer are days of challenge. Each day has a specific challenge, and one are as people. Kids could understand this. So the idea is one day you flex this muscle, and another day you flex that muscle, and another day... Okay. So you could tell them there are 7 different spiritual muscles. Different ways of being strong spiritually, through which we use the part of us that's like Hashem. So the simplest way to get that across is to not do all of the combinations, like not chesed shebigvura, tiferet shebenetzach. It's too hard for children. But just try to explain to them what the midos are themselves. There's chesed. You have to be a giver. Think about what people need. What does the world need? What does Hashem need in terms of bringing His kiddush to this place? Gvura, you have to be strong. What's holding you back? Where are your weaknesses? Is it sometimes hard for you to tell the truth? Is it sometimes hard for you to get to bed on time? Let's think of a weakness, and deal with it. Tiferet. Tiferet has to do with beauty, harmony, peace. Is there somebody who you're not at peace with? Is there something that you do resentfully? Could you say bracha a little nicer? Okay. Netzach. Netzach means both strength and prevailing. So that means for a child, thinking of the bigger, long-term picture. So telling them stories about people who really had goals and worked towards their goals and didn't get lost at the moment is what they need for Midas HaNetzach. So this could be made-up stories, the Jewish version of Horatio Alger. People who, and there are many people like that, like Rabbi Akiva, who started out with so little and became so much. Hod means splendor. It means seeing Hashem's glory and splendor in the world. So you could take a child to a park and have him write down 3 things that he saw in the park that he didn't see in the house, if they're young. And make them look at it really like a flower has an inside and an outside and a stem, and how does it grow, and what's going on under the earth, and how does it receive the sunlight. Let them see the intricacy of creation and actually praise Hashem. Then you could review your life. What's Hashem done for you? He gave you life, He gave you health, He gave you your sister. And some families will be, oh well, okay. Ideally, especially on Lag B'Omer, you should get a kid to Hod Shebahod where they really could sing and dance because of their feeling gifted. Okay, Yesod on a child's level would mean loyalty. Being loyal to Hashem no matter what. The Yosef story, Holocaust stories, all of the dramatic stories about people who served Hashem from places of adversity and weren't tempted by all sorts of outside things are mat'im. The last one is Malchut. Malchut means being a sovereign over yourself and then giving that to Hashem. So for many children, especially children in later childhood, 11, 12, the issue of being a sovereign over yourself, even teenagers, is a big issue. People say, I did it because he made me. Saying, no. Put a crown on your head. You'll be exactly who you want to be. He could do whatever he wants. But no one could rob you of the right to be who you want to be. You don't have to yell because someone yelled. You don't have to hit because someone hit. You don't have to cheat because someone cheated. Okay, so teaching a kid to get past reaction and giving them every possible example of people who did and didn't do that would be where you would go with Malchut. And then saying, and once you have a self, you can give that to Hashem. Hashem, I'll be whoever you want me to be. So you could talk about the difference between a Jewish king and a non-Jewish king. between David, who saw Hashem in every possible life experience and wrote Tehillim, and non-Jewish kings and rulers who were interested in their own glory. Okay, next. I'm sorry, this is a half answer. In Shavuot. So all of this is to lead you to a place where you could appreciate and want Torah, because when you try to overcome these challenges, you say, well, I don't always know what to do. So if any of you have children who've ever walked through a maze, in America there's the corn maze, some of you may be familiar with. Here in Israel there's the maze in the biblical zoo. Tell them what it feels like to be in a maze. All of the kids have seen mazes on the back of newspapers, where you really can't see where you're going, and you really don't know how to get to the pavilion in the middle. And if you don't have Torah, you'll never find your way. Give them examples of people who meant well.